Good morning. Today we're going to talk about drain size. We're going to be talking about page 72 and 73. And we're going to talk a little bit about drain sizing. Again, this is coming from the Code Check Complete 2. All right. Drains must be sized according to their maximum anticipated, simultaneous load. Begin with drawing with an isometric design of all the fixtures and assign each of the number of fixture units, drainage fixture units according to table, T6, which is right here. And again, starting at the highest point of the system, we're going to be working our way back to the drain. Each pipe size and the number of drain fixture units, or DFUs. Note that in the IRC allows for the bathroom and the kitchen groups to be taken into account, and some features not being used simultaneously. Though the kitchen sink trap arms may be 1.5 inches, the vertical drain must be at least 2-inch pipe diameter. So whenever we're sizing a kitchen drain line, and again, whenever we're going to be using isometrics, we're going to be using isometrics later on when we do the drain and line sizing for the school, which is basically on a master's test if we get to that point in the future down the road. We're going to go ahead and we're going to size everything accordingly. So what we're going to be looking at is that when we go down there and you're looking at the table there, the fixture units on the DFUs for trap size, and according to the table, each item has a different amount of fixture units. Now, most of the time, lab sinks and lavatories are basically all one. That's what I've seen. And a minimum size drain according to that. I'm going to be looking down here in the first swing. We're looking at the IRC. The IRC is 1 and the UPC is 1. And the minimum size drain for a bar sink is going to be 1.5 inches. Now the bathtub, according to drainage fixture units, is going to be 2. And again, both for the UPC and the IRC. And the trap size is going to be, again, 1.5 inches. Remember, we're going to have a trap on there, trap and drain size. A bidet is like a lavatory. Basically, a bidet, if you're not used to it, don't understand it, it's basically a sink. It's a lavatory. It's not used, for fecal matter in any way. It's just made for cleaning up after, normally after sex or something like that. If you've got a problem that you can wash yourself up, maybe during the middle of the month for women. All right, so they're basically 1, and again, they're going to be 1.5 inches and drain lines. I'm sorry, 1.25 inch drain lines. Okay. Again, I'm trying to read this over my thing. Now, one of the things, the bidet, yeah. And then some bidets, okay, it says 1.5 inch outlet on it. You're going to have 1.25 inch drain. And a bidet itself, a normal bidet under the IPC is 1, under UPC is 2. Again, I like using the UPC because, again, it's going to oversize everything. Both of them call for 1.5 inch drains. Okay. The closed washer standpipe going to be 2 fixture units according to the IRC, 3 fixture units to UPC, and the traps are going to be, and drain lines are going to be basically 2 inches. That's minimum size trap. Okay. And again, you got a dishwasher. Again, it's talking about not in the can. I don't know what that KS trap means. You have to look at that. All right. Drainage fixture units is 2. And again, 1.5 inch drain lines. Floor drains are going to have no fixture units. You'll notice they're mainly emergency floor drains, but you're going to have at least a 2-inch trap on those. They're going to run into maybe a 3-inch drain line or whatever. A kitchen sink, and there's an asterisk next to that. And I'll have to figure out what that asterisk means. Basically, 2 fixture units, again, 1.5 inches. Now, again, mainly they're talking about trap sizes here. They're not talking about drain sizes. Drain size is going to be a little bit different. Okay, so here again, we've got the lavatory, which is 1 fixture unit each, and they're talking about 1.25 inch drains. Now, again, I think that they should be 1.5 inch traps, really. They tend to plug with hair a little bit more than, but 1.25 inch is all they're requiring. Single head shower stall, basically 2 fixture units. And again, the IRC will allow you to have 1.5 inch drain anytime you have basically a shower or anything. I would never, ever put anything on an inch and a half. And most of the drain lines or most of the shower drains come with a 2-inch tailpiece. So you really need to put on 2-inch pipe. I had in my own home, I have a big walk-in shower, and my wife and my daughter had long hair. And even on a 2-inch shower drain, every so often, if I plunged it, it would push that hair through there. When my daughter used a bathtub, that inch and a half drain go in there and it plug up terribly with hair. And then I'd have to, pull the trap apart and pull that hair out of there, basically. So again, I would highly recommend if you're putting in a shower drain, put in a 2-inch trap. I don't think anybody's going to argue about that. Some places they'll use the IRC code or the IPC code, either direction, and they'll go ahead and tell you that they're, the variances according to the code will tell you to use a 2-inch trap. An additional shower heads, it says see note number B. And I don't see note B there. Oh, the table continues on the next page. And then a water closet is 1.8 gallon fixture units. They'll always be, they're giving you 3 fixture units on that. And in almost all cases, that's going to be on at least a 3-inch trap line. So that being said, now let's look at some of these fittings that are over here on the next page. This is basically coming off there of the closet, which got a 4-inch flange on it, going down to a 3-inch pipe. And again, that is not acceptable, going there and having it that way, because you're reducing it down. Now, the one to the right over here, it's showing that you can reduce it down with the proper fitting. So that's a smooth 4 to 3-inch reducer. That's going to be okay. And again, I talked about that at the school. We had it in a gym situation, and basically that's what we've done now. So that being said, we're moving on. Now, the other thing we got is you got short sweeps on cast iron drainage lines, and then you got water closet elbow. Okay. You can't use a water closet elbow for a fixture unit for drainage. It has to be a drainage fixture unit. And again, depending on the sweep, this is a short sweep. A lot of times I like to use long sweeps on it. Now, going down here to the other drain fixture units and, trap sizes, again, they've got basically a full bath group. Okay, now this is one of the things that the IPC or the IRC allow you to do. They have bath groups, and there's there's some notes down here. Make sure that you read all of the notes. Okay, with or without drainage fixture, or food waste disposal. See, so on some of them things, that was note A. Note B says the IRC shows the trap size, on the low flow, on the flow rate is less than 5.5 gallons. And again, in less than 12.5.3 gallons on a 2-inch line, and so forth. Make sure you read the notes. Okay. The UPC does not have bath groups and in the main code test. Okay. So when you're taking a test, whenever you're taking the exam, you want to make sure that you're using the right book and have the right code books, and you want to make sure what year it is. Because again, code books change every 3 years. So you got to make sure you've got the right code book. Okay. They're included in the Appendix L. All right. For each additional bath group unit, 1.5-inch drains, and 1 fixture unit for half drains, 2 fixture units for a full bath. All right. Now, as we do that, we're going to be looking down here at some of the different types of fittings. These are back-to-back fittings, and you need to know what size fittings that you're looking at and how they're called. All right. So you got a back-to-back fitting, which again, depending on a back-to-back fitting, again, if you read down there, should be used for fixtures or trap arms entering at the same level. The IRC also allows a double sanitary T to be used for this purpose, while the UPC allows it only for branch drains entering at the same level and into the barrel. The minimum 2 pipe size is larger than the inlets. So again, what they're saying here is that they're going to be stepping this thing up. These could be like a 3-inch here, but there's going to be a 4-inch out here. Why is it 2 pipe sizes larger? Because remember, I talked about 3.5 and 4. All right. And in table 7, it talks about the maximum number of drainage fixture units allowed on branches and stacks. Okay, the pipe size basically, again, read the notes. Okay, and there again, let's look at table 7. And down here in the notes, it says A, 1.25 inch pipe is limited to a single fixture drain or trap arm. B, okay, drains 3 inches, less than 3 inches may be used to receive the drainage from water closets. All right. Not not received during, you can't receive them from water closets. And item C says no sinks, urinals, or drainage fixture units less than 1 drainage fixture unit. And D, maximum number 3 water closets may be on any horizontal branch or drain. Again, got to look at that where we're at and for the pipe sizing. So again, we're looking at the pipe size there. You got note 1.25 inches, you got note A and B, 1.5 inches, you got just B, 2 inches B, 2.5 inches B, 3 and 4. Now, the other thing you notice that there's all them things is we're never going to put a toilet on anything less than a 3-inch drain line. Okay. So even if we got a 4-inch flange on it, we're going to go in there. We're going to look at how many fixture units can we put on there. And later on, when we do a gas or drainage sizing for a school or drainage, we're going to use an isometric drawing. We're going to figure out how many fixture units are on there. Okay, so basically, according to the IRC, you're allowed to have on a horizontal line 20 fixture units and 48 on a vertical. Now, the UPC number of drainage fixtures says 35 fixture units, but there's a note there, D, and D says a maximum of 3 inches on a horizontal branch. Okay. So even though you got 35 fixture units on that drain line, you're only going to be able to put 3 toilets on there before we have to step it up to 4 inches. And on a vertical, we're allowed 48 fixture units. Now, on a 4-inch line, drain line, we're allowed 160 fixture units or 240 vertical. Okay. And again, on the UPC, we're allowed 216 horizontally and 256 vertically. So now again, you got to make sure that whenever you're using some of these items like the IRC drainage fixture units on a building drain and branches, okay, the pipe size 1.5 inches, okay, the slope needs to be, it's not available. Okay, note A down there, what does it say? It says down there 1.5 inch horizontal branches and drain and building drains listed to a pump fixture unit, including food waste disposals and grinders, and a 2-inch non-pump fixtures. And B, drains less than 3 inches may not be used to receive discharge from water closets. So we're never going to use a drain line that's less than 3 inches on a water closet. So that being said, we've got a couple of things in there that we got to look at. We're going to analyze it a little bit more as the pages go on. But again, I'm only going to try to cover 2 pages at a time. I want you guys to go through this, read it, understand it, discuss it among yourselves, and then see what, if you have any questions, you can send it to me. So as we're going through this book, I got to remind you that sometimes I stutter up and don't have it right because I'm going through it for the very first time myself. So I'm just trying to add a little bit to it. And again, look at the pictures, look and see what you can do. And again, make sure that you can't use a double sanitary T under the UPC for back-to-back water closets or for basically toilets, okay, or sinks, because again, what happens is that the water from one side goes on the other one, but the fitting has to be a proper fitting for it. So anyhow, again, that'll be what we're going to do today. You guys have a great day, and we'll go back up and pick up on 74 and 75 at a later date. So again, let me know what you think.